sifter.com.au.
Hi, I'm Gianni Di Giovanni.
And I'm Fiona Bartholomeus.
Welcome to Walkthrough, Sifter's weekly recap on the biggest news in video games.
This week there is a lot of Aussie news. Hollow Knight Silksong DLC has been announced. Massive Monster are using their success to help other studios. And elsewhere, Naughty Dog have been accused of crunching again, despite ruling it out during The Last of Us 2. Here's news for Sunday, 21st December, plus all the upcoming games launching this week, and it's our last show for 2025. Let's go!
Join the Sifter community on Discord at sifter.com.au/Discord.
If you think you've finally finished Hollow Knight Silksong and you're going to have a break, well, guess again, because the team is coming back with a DLC and it's going to be free. Team Cherry announced this week that the Sea of Sorrow will be arriving sometime next year. It'll feature new areas, bosses, tools, and so much more. And plus, the theme will be nautical. Considering how long it took them to make this game just because they couldn't stop coming up with ideas and adding new things in, we're surprised that there's a DLC so soon.
Interestingly, some eagle-eye viewers noticed that there was a nautical sort of ocean-themed area that was shown in the first trailer for the game, but it just never popped up in the full version. So obviously they've been sort of chipping away at this for a while. They did also announce that they're working on an updated version of Hollow Knight for the Switch 2. That's the original game. The Switch 2 edition will have all the updates and enhancements that Silksong got, as well as high frame rates and higher resolution models and additional graphical effects. The team also said that anyone who has a copy of Hollow Knight Silksong for the original Switch will be able to download the upgrade for free, which will also launch next year. I'd say that someone needs to teach those South Australians how to make money because they're giving out all this stuff for free and it was really cheap to buy anyway. But the game sold 7 million copies with a lot of players playing on Game Pass as well. So, yeah, I think they're fine. This week, it was revealed that Naughty Dog has been enforcing mandatory overtime to finish an internal demo for their next game, Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. It's been reported by Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg that it started in late October and staff were asked to begin working a minimum of 8 extra hours a week, logging their overtime in an internal spreadsheet. The overtime working is an attempt to get production back on track after several deadlines were missed.
Staff were told not to work more than 60 hours a week, and they had to return to the office 5 days a week during this time period. Crunch is unfortunately well known in the industry, and Naughty Dog has started to earn a reputation over the years for its binge working culture. However, this is the first time in recent years that overtime has been mandatory across a large portion of the studio. The game isn't due to release until mid-2027, so if this is happening now, there are worries that it's going to get worse.
There seems to be a bit of a structural problem with the way that Naughty Dog makes games because in a bunch of post-Last of Us 2 interviews, they said that they were going to change the way that they make games to avoid crunch again. That game was famously really brutal on the people who made it, so I'm not really sure how they've ended up in this situation again.
Massive Monster, the team behind Cult of the Lamb, announced this week that they're partnering with VicScreen to support game development. They're creating a new co-working space in Melbourne known as MASS, which will be supported by a $2 million investment from the Victorian government. The space is designed to be an industry hub for all kinds of game development. It'll have a playtesting room, audio room, VR and streaming facilities, a games library, and a dedicated event space. It's hoped that it'll provide affordable access for devs, enable aspiring developers, and will be a meeting point for developers and students.
And that's not all, because Massive Monster is going all in and is matching the investment to establish a new fund which will support Victorian-based game developers. This will help teams bring their games from prototype to launch. There isn't much info about the fund, but we're sure we'll see something soon. And we love seeing Aussie devs help each other out. You can already register your interest for the space. We'll leave a link for that in the show notes.
And finally, we got some news about the next game in the acclaimed Hand of Fate series. It was announced that the next game, Hordes of Fate, a Hand of Fate adventure, will be releasing on PC, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch 2, and Xbox Series X and S next year. You'll get to return to this deck-building auto shooter and join the game of life or death as one of the original Hand of Fate characters. Use the ever-shuffling deck of equipment, enchantment, and ability-powered cards to fight through hordes of creatures.
Anthony Skordi, who you might know from Star Wars Battlefront 2, Mafia: The Old Country, and Mass Effect 3, will also be returning as the mysterious voice of the dealer. Here is what he sounds like if you need a little reminder. Insert a clip here, Mitch, please. Don't say that. Cut that bit out. Or not. I don't know. Maybe it'll be funny.
We play not for life and death, but for the chance to seek that goal once more.
The Hand of Fate games were originally made by Defiant Development, one of the big names in Australian game development. However, they unfortunately shut down in 2019. Now, this game is going to be made by Spitfire Interactive, which contains a lot of the original devs from Defiant. We can't wait to see more of this, and we'll definitely keep you updated. That's it for the headlines. Here are the games coming out this week. And look, there aren't stacks of them. So we're going to give you a few into next year and a prompt to get you to dig back into the back catalogue.
Get ready for some party chaos in Pretto Prisoner. Players and more inmates using insane plans to sabotage and escape the prison, or play as a robot trying to hunt them down, capture them, and send them to the nap room for a quick timeout. This looks like a wild time, and you can grab it on Switch, Switch 2, and PC on the 25th.
Early next year on January 5th, you might want to pick up Dune Crawl. You've got a massive super crab. It's got a platform on the back of it. It's got guns on it, and you explore a desert world. It's got some really lovely graphics and an art style. This one's an online co-op action game for you and your mates. It kind of looks a little bit like Diablo, and it's coming to PC on Steam early next year.
Instead of picking up a brand new game, can we suggest that you pick up an Australian-made game this festive season? We've just published a massive list of Australian-made games on our website, sifter.com.au.
You can find heaps of titles, over 100 in fact, that were made in Australia, and lots of them are on sale in the summer sales. So make sure you visit sifter.com.au and just look for the link for 2025, the definitive list of Australian-made video games.
Articles to read,
Videos to watch.
and podcasts to listen to.
Sifter.com.au. This has been Walkthrough by Sifter. My name is Gianni Di Giovanni.
And my name is Fiona Bartholomeus. Thank you so much for listening.
Walkthrough is our recap of the news, but if you want to catch up on all of Sifter's stories, I've started putting together the newsletter again. It's an easy way to make sure you don't miss any of our interviews or reviews, features that we've got on the website. It comes out when I get round to it. Head to sifter.com.au/newsletter to subscribe. That's sifter.com.au/newsletter, or find a little box on every one of the stories that we do.
Sifter is produced by myself, Kat Jarn, Naomi Jackson, Carl Paletto, Chris Button, and Adam Christou. Mitch Lowe is senior producer who edited this episode, and Gianni Di Giovanni is Sifter's executive producer and Walkthrough script editor.
Thanks to Brian Fairbanks from Salty Dog Sounds for composing the Walkthrough theme tune, Audio Technica Australia and Apple for their support of Sifter's podcast.
We'll be back with more news next year in January, so have a great holidays, and we'll see you then.